So we don't we don't do gentle parenting in terms of I think we have a good mix
Okay.
of our parenting style. So we don't do gentle parenting in terms of we have to entice them to go and shower. Like, no, rules are rules, and you have to obey rules. Like,
Yeah.
you need to respect authority, and that's that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But we also do it in a gentle way.
Yeah.
We obviously we do consider the child's feelings or whatever, but feelings are also so dangerous. And this is the thing with social media. Social media makes the child, well, with gentle parenting, they make the child the center of everything, and their feelings the center of everything.
Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Sam.
And I'm Amanda.
Welcome to Filtered Through Faith.
Yes, we are at episode 7, and
Yay.
we're so excited that if you're still here with us, if you're still joining us, we love having you, and we are so excited about this little community that we built, and we hope that it extends and that you're still enjoying the conversations with us.
Yeah, leave us a comment down below if there's anything you would like us to
Chat about.
if there's anything you'd like us to chat about, leave a comment. We really love having you guys around.
Yeah.
Today's episode is a very interesting one. We are going to be tackling gentle parenting, the dangers of it, and we're just going to add a little bit of motherhood to it as well. Because obviously
Yes.
we moms.
And we're approaching Mother's Day, and
Yes.
so yeah, it's just the season to be talking about parenting and mothering, and yeah.
All the good things.
Okay, Sam,
Let's go.
take us away.
Let's start with gentle parenting. So, I would like to know your understanding of gentle parenting.
So mine is basically what I've seen on social media, which is like, okay, more of like a gentle approach to your parenting. Sorry for it to be so literal, but that's like how I understand it, for it to be like a gentle approach to parenting. And maybe I don't understand it fully, but it feels like a coddling also. It feels like you would like, yeah. So, instead of, like, as an example, instead of forcing your child to bath or shower at 6 o'clock every evening, you entice them to shower. You make a shower game. Those types of things. That's my understanding of it.
You basically get on their level.
Yes.
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 So yes, yeah, that is true from what I've seen. So I think let's speak about your viewpoint on it. So do
Yeah.
you agree with it or you don't agree with it? Where do you stand on
So
gentle
my parenting style is absolutely not gentle parenting. We are quite traditional, my husband and I, in our parenting style. We we believe in a lot of traditional, the way we were brought up. I do think like you don't have to take everything from the way we were brought up, but just general, like, kids don't talk while adults are talking. When you coming to an adult, you say, excuse me, you wait for them to finish their conversation, like that type of thing. And I think the shift now is like the child is at the center of everything, and whatever makes the child happy, and we schedule our whole weekend around the child, and we schedule our whole life around the child. Whereas I think our approach is more like, you guys met us here. And while we care about you, we want you to thrive, we want you to do well in life, like, you fit into our family.
Yeah.
And you guys, what's your guys' approach?
Similar. So we don't do gentle parenting in terms of I think we have a good mix of our parenting style. So we don't do gentle parenting in terms of we have to entice them to go and shower. Like, no, rules are rules, and you have to obey rules. Like, you need to respect authority, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? But we also do it in a gentle way. Where obviously we do consider the child's feelings or whatever, but feelings are also so dangerous. And this is the thing with social media. Social media makes the child, well, with gentle parenting, they make the child the center of everything, and their feelings the center of everything. And that's not from God. That's not what the Bible teaches us. The Bible doesn't tell us that, oh, your feelings matter the most and everything around you should be based on how you feel. Like if a child throws a tantrum and throws himself on the floor, that's not okay. That's not okay behavior. That's not behavior we should be accepting of them.
Your kids are now in that like throw themselves on the floor age, right? What do? Practical like scenario. What happens? You in the mall and your little girl throws herself down and she's like, I want this, I don't want to leave, or I don't want to walk anymore, you need to pick me up, and you're like, no, or whatever. Like, what do you do?
Yes. So it's difficult to say because I believe it or not, I've never been in that situation. Okay. But if she does throw herself on the floor, I am gonna ask her to get up because God instructs us to have self-control. Yeah. So how we often do it is we remind her of Bible verses. So we teach her a lot of Bible. We've been teaching a lot of Bible verses. So I will tell her, God has given you self-control. And you need to use your self-control. And she'll listen, in this moment, in this moment, I'll tell her, please get up. Okay. And I will hug her. Okay. I won't give her a whole speech on what you did was wrong. I'll tell her to get up and I'll hug her, or I'll lift her up and hug her and take time out to be with her, to understand what is the issue. And I will ask her, what do you need right now? Yes. And she will usually communicate, oh, I'm tired, oh, I'm hungry. Yeah. If she's tired, if your child is tired, like
they are going to act up.
Then maybe you should not be in the mall. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, just think about that for a second. If you are tired and you are now out, you're going to be miserable. That's they're human. Yeah. But if the child is saying, oh, I don't feel like walking because I don't feel like walking. No, that's a self-control issue. Now you have to like force yourself basically to have self-control. And I will tell her, I'll ask her like questions. Why not? Yeah. Try to get her out of her mindset of, I don't want to do this because I don't want to do this. Because sometimes it's just selfish behavior. I don't know if you've seen that with your child. Like sometimes they will act up because they want everything to be about themselves. Like
a lot of times that's why they act up. Because they want it to be about themselves. Like pretty much all the time, basically.
So I know sometimes they have it. I think sometimes they do have genuine excuses. So I think
like if you can't tell already, like Sam and I have, and we talk about this a lot because we are slightly different. So we have a lot of things that we aligned upon, but Sam is more open to communication and discussing, understanding their viewpoint, that type of thing. And I'm way more traditional in my approach. In like, so in that scenario, if we were at the mall, I was not hugging you. That is not what I'm doing.
What did
I'm
you
not hugging you at that moment. I am picking you up, and I am like, so let's say it is that you don't want to walk. I will force you to walk.
Yes,
like,
same,
or I'll give you an option of like you can get in the trolley as an example. Yes. Or let's say you're throwing yourself down on the floor
because you're tired
for sweets or something like that.
Okay, no.
So I don't want to say the the things, but I believe in all the traditional ways. Disciplines, yes. I don't think that like that wouldn't be our first point of call. And I know like now it's such a big thing, like legally, all of those things, whatever. So I also feel like sometimes our parents were too much on hidings. They were like hidings for everything.
And like they would be angry and give a hiding.
And I think that's too much. But I do think that your child having a healthy fear for you. So like with my kids, so I have 2 older kids, as you know, and as everybody by now hopefully knows. So I have a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old. A lot of our discipline happened with the 13-year-old because by the time so they have a 3-year gap. By the time Jared came, you already knew we don't throw ourselves down in the sweets aisle first. You know what I mean? Like you only have to do it with the first kid, and then the second kid already knows like this is kind of not what we do. Yes. You set the standard that in this family, that's not how we behave.
That's the other thing. It's like you do the hard work now. Yes. And then you'll reap the rewards. And if you are a lazy parent, because if you're not disciplining your child, you are acting like somebody that hates a child, and the Proverbs is very clear with that. And you let that behavior then take root and control the child. And then I'm sorry, at 10 when the child is doing all the crazy things, you're like, oh no, I need to discipline. It's too late.
Yeah.
It is too
But
late.
that's not to say that, like, I feel so, like, just this afternoon, my brother was here and he was telling me something about my nephew, and I was like, oh my gosh, my son does the same thing. I was like, I actually feel happy that I'm not alone, because sometimes you think,
Yes.
like, oh my gosh, am I messing up so bad that this thing is
No.
continuously happening or whatever? But I think you also realize, like, it's just a season. Some things are just a season. And you just have to have the patience to be like, no, we're gonna get through the season. I think also, like, comparing, and that's, I think, the thing that's so that frightens me so much with social media, parenting, mothering, and it's like there's all these new trends, like gentle
Yes.
parenting, co-sleeping, don't traumatize your child, like this trauma, cancel the trauma from this generation to there's so many things like in your ear, and you can just feel like, oh my gosh, I'm messing up my child, I don't want to do what my parents did, and I'm like, actually all this noise is making you be worse of a parent, because you just flippy floppy, you changing all the time. Now you're doing this thing,
that's
then you're
worse
doing
than
that thing.
everything. Yeah. Because the child needs stability. Yeah, I agree with you. You know, with social media, we have to be very careful, because God has given you this child.
Yeah.
Because He knew that you would do the best with this child. And the way you need to discipline this child is coming from God. We need to wait on the Lord and ask God how to do these hard things. Not go to social media, not go to our friend, and not go to books, not go, because the answer isn't there. The answer is with God that has given you this child.
Yeah.
And so often we look at social media and we're like, oh my word, gentle. I don't know, what is the account? Big Little Feelings. Like, yes, okay, fine, they have big little feelings, but like to now have a whole transcript of what you should be doing, what the child should be saying, what you should be saying, like going back, oh no, my child, it's too much. It's too much.
It's so overwhelming.
It
like,
is,
honestly.
It is overwhelming. No wonder mothers are burnt out, because it's like all these new things instead of just asking God.
All this feeling that you must feel like your child needs an activity. Every time your child must have an activity. You must take them to a new place for a new experience all the time. Like, honestly, they'll be fine if they're a little bit bored that weekend.
Yes.
They will be okay. Like,
Even
we
if
don't
it's
have
not,
to
even
fill...
if it's just a weekend, even if it's a month, like it's good for them. It's
like,
so
it's
so
great
good for
to give them experiences. I think it's
Absolutely.
wonderful to give them experiences, but it's not everything.
No, it's
Like,
not.
even you guys playing with a water gun in the garden is a
It's
great
fine.
experience. Like,
Even you just sitting on a chair having a cup of coffee and watching her play in the garden
is
is a
a
good
great experience.
It's like a good experience.
Exactly.
It's the best.
But we have so much pressure with social media. It's like, you have to be this mom that's creating all these things and taking them here and doing all these things and whatever. And I think it's sometimes too much. I'm not saying it's all terrible, but I think it's just
it definitely has its place, but what's the use you have this brilliant, brainy child that doesn't know the Lord?
Yes, that's true.
What is the use?
Yes.
Then you've missed the point.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so let me ask you this. When you found out you were pregnant with your first daughter, what type of mother did you want to be?
I just wanted to be a mother that follows the Lord and shows us a good example, shows up as a good example of what it means to follow the Lord. I wanted to be a gentle mom. I wanted to be a kind mom and a loving mom. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. And you?
I think so. For me, I'd never really thought about, oh, what type of mother do I want to be. I more thought about, like, what type of parent do I want to be. And I think, like I told you, and I say it often, is like there was such a stark difference between my parents when they didn't know the Lord versus when they did know the Lord. And so I just always knew. That's why, like, I gave my heart to the Lord when I was 7 months pregnant with Hailey. So I always knew, like, I'd rather be that type of parent that I saw in my latter years of growing up than the parent that I saw in the earlier years. So I just knew I wanted to be close to the Lord. I wanted to be a parent who knew and followed the Lord. And that changed, and like, as that grew, the Lord gave me more and more wisdom about, like, oh, actually, you're doing this thing that comes from generation. Like, I still struggle with this, in all honesty. I'm quite harsh.
I can't see that. Okay.
I even like it because I can be like, hey, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can snap.
Really?
Yeah, I can snap. And it comes from my mother and my mother's mother, you know, where it's like, those children, and then you're slamming the dishes and whatever. And I just want to try to be more of a they not a gentle mom, like
Just
I feel
calm.
just calm.
Yeah, like calm.
Just
like,
at peace.
it's okay. Like,
so like sometimes I a zen mom. So like sometimes I win the battle, and there's a way to. Sometimes I win the battle and I'm great at it. Like my kid does something the way they didn't. Like I'll give you an example. We were in Cape Town for holiday. We did Easter egg hunt with cousins, and Jared was like upset because he didn't get many Easter eggs. He was quite younger than he is now. But it was a normal, natural kid reaction. You know, he was like, oh, and you were, and like my parents and their parents' way would have been like, hey,
kry yourself right.
You know what I mean? But I didn't respond in that way. I like took him to the room, not in front of people. I took him to the room. I explained to him why it's not okay that you act like this. And I said to him, I'm going to give you 2 minutes. So I didn't like say, yeah, you can act, you can like, no, I was like, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to fix yourself. And then we're going out there and you act like the child you've been raised to be. So I wasn't like all gentle parenty, but I didn't discipline him in front of people.
Yes.
And I took him aside and I explained to him why that's not appropriate behavior. And then, so sometimes I win the battle, but other times I'm like, hey.
But it's okay to also be like a gentle parent,
Yeah.
but firm.
Yes.
Like, there's nothing wrong with being a firm parent. Like, you're not harsh, and I don't think you're like a harsh parent. I think you're just a firm parent. And that's very important.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine being a parent that's wishy-washy? Like, you never know which person you're going to get today.
Yeah.
Like, at least with a firm person, you know, okay, there's a firm person. And also, children need firmness in their life. Like, can you imagine a child that just wakes up and does whatever they feel?
Living a Montessori childhood.
Like,
I'm kidding. Like, I know. I'm from an educational.
Now we're going to be in a boxing ring. I'm joking. No, Montessori is lovely, my friend.
No, I think from an educational standpoint, it has its pros. I definitely do. So my kid's also into Montessori nursery school. I think it
so
has
you're throwing shade,
no. In the end, I'm not a fan of it.
You're not a fan?
I think it was fine. It was good, but I think only till a certain point. So my lesson that I realized was like, especially when they get to grade R, more structure is needed.
Yes.
Because what happened was my kids knew, like, I don't know, the planets, but they were struggling to count to 10.
Yeah, no, that doesn't make
sense. You know, like they didn't fundamentally understand that 5 is more than 4.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like, because you allow them that explorative approach to education every morning, and I think that's great, like maybe up until 3, 4. But my personal experience with it was like, we had to then fix a lot of things.
There was gaps.
When they were in grade R, getting ready for grade 1, because to get into grade school, you have to do that grade 1 readiness. And then there was like
done to you, because like, Montessori is like a big deal now, and you put your child in Montessori way back when.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even what it is now.
Yeah.
I assume.
No, it was like, I think it was really good, having them for a certain period. I liked it for a certain period because also when they're just starting to learn, you want to make it very explorative.
Yes.
But I think it has to stop at a certain point.
Just like everything, you know, it has a place. I wanted to ask you, how do you approach, like, when your child walks into a room, right, and there's a lot of people, and they don't greet?
Yeah.
Okay, so
no, so it's only with one.
So I have that problem, and everybody always, and it's such a hard thing for me because I understand the child's heart and where she comes from. She doesn't mean to be that way.
Yeah.
But it's something that she does struggle with.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, Nia, what? Like,
Yeah.
you must just like force her. Say she's rude.
Yeah.
Sorry, she's rude.
Yes.
But they don't know the back, and nor do I feel like I need to explain to you what
Yeah.
my child is going through. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is your approach on it? Like, what's your take on it? Is that rude to you or what?
So, Jared, we had that issue with Jared, like, for the longest time. And then I would always say, like, Jared, come greet. Jared, come greet. And he would come, and then he would eventually, like, concede and we go, hello.
Yeah, shame.
He would just be like that. He'd be like, hello. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to pick my battles. I just left him with, as long as he just was like, hello. And you'd say, bye. That's fine. So sometimes he wouldn't say anything, he would just hug. But it was a bit of a journey, and I didn't like hit him or anything
Or
like
force
that.
him.
Like I say, like, I think people were hitting for
Nothing.
like that's too small, you know, like, but being outwardly rude, like saying shut up to an adult or something like that,
Yeah,
that's a
so
different
rude.
story, you know what I mean? But like, let's say they're shy or whatever, I would just slowly try to encourage them, slowly try to get them there. That would be my approach. That was my approach with Jared. Like, it took a long time for him eventually to be like,
it at home.
yes, for him to eventually be like, oh, okay. And now he's better, but he's still not the most. Jared is like a get to the business of the matter type of person, you know. And I even find, like, even in school, I'm struggling with some of his teachers to like understand that he's not rude, he's not abrasive, he's just like, why do I need to do this? You know, so I think it's his personality,
but I can
more
also
than
appreciate, and that's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
when you're parenting children, you can't use the same approach on everybody because their
Yes.
personalities are so different.
Yeah.
And I'm now realizing that because now I have a second, which
Yes.
and
she'll probably be more like the hello and hi and
she is
and
she's
out and
absolutely
exactly.
the person
And then
that
it's
just
not
loves
yeah.
everybody.
I think there's a difference between, you have to distinguish, is it rude or is it shy?
Or is it yeah.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, or is it just getting over, like, some kids have that where they have to just warm up a little. And that's fine. That's okay. As long as, like, at some point, because this is the thing, like, I always say this, we have to think about if whatever you're doing now is going to serve them in the future. If you continue, like, I had this very frank conversation the other night with my son, because Haley was saying some of her friends were saying that no, he's not polite and whatever. And he was like, Mommy, because 5 of them came up to me and told me that Haley went home sick. Like, 1 is enough. Why do 5 have to come?
I mean, the boy has everything.
So this is him. You see, he's like very practical.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, Jared, I get that. But the 5th person didn't know that the first person came. And you have to understand that. So I said to him, let me ask you this. Do you care how people feel when they leave your presence? And he was like, I said, if you don't care, be honest rather, because that's actually what we should deal with. It's not like, if you do care, then we can take it from there. But if you don't care, be frank and say, I actually just don't care. And so he was like, no, I do care, but not to the extent where I'm going to change. I don't want them to feel bad. So I was like, well, that's what you made those girls feel like. You made them feel bad when they were thinking they're coming to do a nice thing. So you don't have to engage in a long conversation. You can just be like, yes, I know, such and such already told me. I said, whenever you're talking to a teacher, a friend, anybody, although you a straightforward type of person, you still have to think about the fact that this person's going to leave your presence and might feel terrible.
Yes.
They might feel horrible. And that might have been, and you don't know if they were already having a bad day, if their teacher already shouted them, or if their parents are going through a divorce, or whatever the situation is, and now you're rude to them.
And they will never forget how you made them
So
feel.
I always said, like, I think the thing is, you must think about, like, at some point you would want her to get over that, right? Because she's going to one day wanna be ambitious, one day wanna, and she's gonna need to walk into a room and
be
feel
able
like
to.
she belongs in the room, like she can command the presence of the room, like she can be confident and whatever. And so that's more where I would focus. I wouldn't actually focus on like you don't greet, you know. It's like she'll get there. You just keep reminding her.
Yeah. And then another thing is you spoke about being shy and whatever.
Yeah.
Labeling.
Yeah.
Like people labeling your children. And the more I'm listening to you, the more I realize you don't actually have a traditional
Really?
viewpoint. No, you don't. Because I want you to remember a traditional is authority. I am the head, so I'm authority. I have the authority to speak all these words or hit you or everything I do. No, but everything I do is right.
Yeah.
And everything you do is wrong.
No.
It absolutely is.
Yeah, I don't think
the tradition is that way.
Okay.
Where you are like, you try to get to the root cause, you try to understand, which is, I don't know, I also won't say my approach is gentle parenting, because gentle parenting takes away the sin of the child, man. It makes it the child like fluffy.
Yeah.
Like there's no sin in what you're doing.
Yeah.
When actually no, they're sinners.
Yeah. Like we are.
The heart
like
of it
we
is
all
sin.
are.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, we trying to help you overcome normal, natural, selfish behaviors.
Yes.
It's normal and natural to be like, I'm not gonna share.
Yes.
I don't want to share. This is mine. It's only mine. It's natural, but you have to teach them why it's important to share. This is not how we behave. This is not how we act. Then, I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like there's too much of a tolerance with this, or like that parents will be, I don't know, mid conversation, and then like a kid is just like, and you must now drop everything and sort out the kid. You know what I mean? Or the kid feels like, I don't wanna eat this, and you must be like, okay, fine, we'll just eat spaghetti and fish fingers every night, or whatever. You know what I mean?
That's great, because that's so quick. But no, I hear what you're saying. Yeah. No, we don't have that either. Like I have a running rule in my household. This is what we are eating. If you don't like that, if you don't eat that food, I will obviously, if I know a child doesn't eat whatever, right, I will then have a safe food on their plate as well, something that I know they're gonna eat. Not love it, but they will eat. But this is what we're eating. If you don't like it, you're going hungry.
Yes.
Because this is what
I'm going to cook a separate pot.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, so when my kids were little, I did allow them, like, if you're going to go get bread and peanut butter, like, whatever. So those are some of the things that I did differently to my parents. So I chose my battles. I was like, if they full, I think they full. And when they're hungry, they'll come say, I want to eat, and then I'll feed them. Like, I'm not going to fight with you now. It's 7:00. You will eat this plate of food. You know what I mean? I just also...
Yeah, no, that's things that doesn't matter, really.
But those types of things
in the
were
great
like...
scheme of things, it doesn't
matter. But those things were... When growing up, I don't know how your parents were.
No,
like.
my parents were not. No.
Is it? My parents were like, I remember sitting, my brother still teases me to this day. I like used to sit at the table. I was forced to finish my food, and I'll be there like gagging,
goodness,
trying to get the food down, forced to eat the food.
No, I don't remember that.
The last one at the table, and so I'm being forced, you must. That was like my parents, and that was just normal. It wasn't abnormal what they were doing. That was normal in colored households, in our cultural background. Like, it was normal. But for me, I just felt like, and my husband, we were like, we choose our battles.
Yeah, no, you have to choose. It's very, very important that you do choose your battles. Yeah. So otherwise, you're just going to be hounding on everything. Like, not everything is a heart issue. And you need to learn to focus on the heart issues.
What do you mean by heart issue?
So getting to the root of the problem, where the child's heart is actually. So sometimes behaviors pop up, and it's like reacting parenting. Are you a reactive parenting, or are you is it reacting and responsible? Yeah. Proactive or reactive, something like that. Not actually proactive and reactive, but like, like, are you just going to react to everything?
Oh, okay.
Like, is everything going to take the bait you? Are you
gonna,
is everything going to send you, honestly?
Like,
are you going to control your emotions? Because God has given you beautiful self-control. Like, use it. Like, as a parent also, if you are not um, if you are not controlling yourself, don't expect your child to control themselves also, because it works hand in hand. If your child does something silly and you like, oh my goodness, just lose your mind, like what do you think the child is gonna do?
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying is actually my continuous battle. Sometimes I do like,
I think we all do in our moments. So I know we skipped over the question that I asked you. So labeling.
Okay, what do you mean?
What do you think? So when people are like, oh, she's shy, or oh, says, what's that other thing that they say? Stubborn. I hate that word, stubborn. I always say to them, like, I nicely correct them, like, no, she's not stubborn. She's actually just like, what's the other word for it? How I kind of get
assertive. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I would say assertive, or Chad.
Wat is rauw? Die kind is rauw. Your kind is rauw.
Yeah, they love saying that. What's the other words I say? Yeah, no, I say she's strong-willed.
Okay.
Yes, I say she's not stubborn, she's strong-willed, because I think there's also certain things that's needed when she's older, like being strong-willed. Like, I'm not gonna also, like, I guess I choose my battles, man. Yeah. If the child wants to wear pink boots, I'm not gonna force her to wear black boots.
Yeah. So I must admit, I'm actually not all that sensitive about it. Like, people have said, oh, yeah, this one's like this one's like this, or whatever about my kid. But I can't even remember.
So it doesn't affect your kids.
It doesn't affect me at all. And I think if it doesn't affect me, it doesn't affect them. I also feel like us as parents, God has given us what we say of them has more effect on them. So if we say, you lazy, you stubborn, if we say that, then, because, like, let's be real, the whole world is always going to say, oh, Sammy's this type of person, Sammy's like that, Sammy's like this. It's going to happen forever. People are always going to judge you, people are always going to put you in a box, but they don't have any authority over you. God has given your parents authority over you, and you, as you get into adulthood, authority over you. Yeah. And so what you say about yourself, and while you're little, what your parents say about you has more impact. So I am like, I don't even get into it. I don't even think my brain recognizes it. Yeah.
So you see, I was also like that, and I thought that was the case. But then we had an instance where, and I think it's when it has to do with family, it's a little bit difficult, because I think the child does internalize it, because already, like I said to you, she struggles a little bit with the grief. She takes a while to warm up, right? Yes. But once she's warm, she's fine. Yes. Like, and she will go back and say, oh, I didn't say hello to this person. Hello. Whatever. Yeah. But now there has been words about, oh, she's shy, she's this, and I've not said anything about it. I've left it. And then the one day I said to her, hey, Ann, you need to greet, like, now that you've warmed up. And she's like, no, I'm shy.
Oh, okay. So she latched onto it, like,
And I'm like, what do you mean you're shy? You're not shy, you're brave. Yeah. No, I'm shy. So-and-so said I'm shy. So I believe them, I'm shy.
Oh, shame.
So that's when I started watching and listening and being very careful what people label my child. So if they would say, oh, she's shy, I'll be like, no, she's not shy, she's brave, she just needs time, or she doesn't know you.
Well, that's good. I think it's actually good if you're able to, like, in that moment think about it, and I think I'm just not able to.
But I guess it hasn't affected your children, so then why would you?
So the only, like, I think also it depends on who the person is, right? If it was probably like grandparents or something like that, or my helper, she'll sometimes say, with Riley now, she'll say, like, she's naughty. I say, no, man, she's not naughty, Rachel. I will say, like, because I don't like that word being spoken over all the time, child, like, she's naughty, she's not, because she's not naughty.
She'll become naughty because what you say.
So because of who that's like my, for all intents and purposes, while I'm at work, that's my child's primary caregiver. And so the words that she says about her matters. And so I do try to, like, and if it was like, let's say my mom or Kirsten's mom, and they were like, then
you will.
I would probably, but I think it depends on who it is. If it's like, oh, we go to a Christmas function, and it's an auntie that you don't see all the time, and they're like, oh, Dickon, this was so tough, whatever they might say, I would just be like,
okay. In closing,
that's why we don't see you much, Auntie.
in closing, what I would say not advice, but something that you cling to in your motherhood journey that has helped you and you just keep very close to your heart because sometimes it's very hard. Like this challenging times. Sometimes when it comes to discipline, like you worried, like you find yourself thinking about this too much almost. Like, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? Is my child gonna be okay? Like, yeah, they'll be fine. Like,
so that's probably the thing. That's probably the thing that I've learned to rest in. Is that no matter how hard I try, I'm never gonna be the perfect mother. And all I can do is be humble and ask the Lord to lead and guide me. And when I do make mistakes, be equally humble enough to say to my kids, you know what, mommy messed up there. Mommy shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have reacted that way. I shouldn't have done this. Or you know what, mommy hasn't been paying enough attention on this thing for you, and I've decided, like the Lord has showed me, it's not. I think the best thing we can do for our children is show them that we too are human beings who make mistakes. Absolutely. And we need to continuously come back to the feet of the Father and say, Lord, please help me. I messed up. Yes. Help me not do this again. Yes. And allow them the opportunity to see you do that. Yes. Because one day, when they need, they'll do it. So that's been my...
Yeah, I always say, it's so good that you said that. I always say to Malaya, because obviously she's a little bit older, I always say to her, mom's still learning. Yeah. Like, I'm also learning. Like, I'm also growing, Yeah. Like, she's shocked sometimes that I also grow like her, but we're learning together. Yeah. I think for me, it will be that, God is with you. Like, it's okay. Like, God is with you. Yeah. Like, when it's hard, ask Him for strength. And there's been so many moments where I've been so tired and I stand in front of my kitchen sink and I just pray and ask God for strength. Yeah. And instead of the cup of coffee, the 5th cup of coffee for the day, I ask for strength. And He meets my needs every time. Yeah. So remembering that God's with you, and you can always turn to Him and say, God, I actually don't know what to do here. Can you guide me? Yeah. And then going to your child and being like, mommy doesn't know what to do in this situation, but I am praying about it. Yeah. And I'm waiting on God for the answer. Yeah. Let's hold off on this for a little bit. Yeah. Because kids are understanding. Yeah. Some of them. Anyway.
Oh, my friend, no. I don't want to actually say... Like, probably other people will say this to me whose kids are more grown up than me, but I feel like schooling years, you like... in the thick of it, like the more open to the world and the influences and everything around, like the harder it gets. It is. And anyway, if we carry on about this part of this topic, this episode will never finish. But like, I feel like, and schooling systems nowadays and teachers, and I just feel like the world has changed so much, and it makes it so much harder to parent, honestly. Yes. The type of teachers we have now is so different to the type of teachers we had growing up. Like, teachers want to be friends. Teachers want to be cool.
Friends, like with you or the kids?
Hey? Oh. Teachers want to be cool with the kids, and then they're expecting you to discipline from your office desk. Like, they can't control the class, or things like that. Yeah, or like, there's just so many things.
Yeah,
like, you
it
see
makes it
with
hard.
Like, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a teacher being on TikTok. I'm just saying, like, there's certain boundaries that I feel like shouldn't be crossed with kids, because now it's like that's the same kid you were like now vibing with, and then you're like, hey, it's time to... how do they
switch off from
how do they switch that,
the transition,
and then now you're writing in the report that we must... so it's like, what?
Yeah, like carry yourself up.
Yes. So there's like a lot of things that you going into this phase, and I can only imagine it's going to get different, more and more intense when your girls are in school.
Yeah, I hear you, and it's the same with and it's the same with parents. we must be careful that we don't cross the line of friendship, because you are not your child's friend.
Yes.
You are not your child's friend.
Yes.
I get the whole we are besties. We are besties. We are.
No, I'm not. I don't even say that.
I love that we are.
I don't.
We are
You see
besties.
that?
We are besties, but we are mom and daughter
Yeah.
first. Like
Yeah.
I'm very clear with that. We're
Yeah.
besties as in we love spending time together,
Yes.
but we're not friends as in best friends.
Yes.
We besties as in best mom and daughter.
Yes.
Very clear with that, because like you
Yeah.
you muddle the waters when you're like, oh,
Yes.
no.
No,
we're
I don't want to
friends.
be hearing about you have a crush on this boy, and no, there's a line for me. There's a line.
I don't know. I can't speak out that. I don't.
There's
I
a
have
line
no
for me.
idea. Oh, you're stressing me out.
Anyway,
Anyway,
this was such a good topic. Yeah, I think it's probably one that we can pick up again and go deeper into it, and maybe actually tackle some of like exactly what's out there, some of the culture threads and things like that we're seeing out there. But it's so good. I think parenting is a continuous evolving journey, and yeah.
Let us know if there's something that you guys want us to also tackle, and we can look
What
at
are
it.
you struggling with as a
Yes.
parent?
And we shared what we struggle with. Yeah. So
we'd
share,
love
tell
to see
us
those.
in the comments below. You can find us on Apple Music. No. you can you can find us on Apple Podcast, on Spotify, on YouTube, anywhere where you listen to your podcast, and we're on Instagram, on TikTok. Leave us a comment, tell us what you'd like us to
like and subscribe and share and do all the things, and we love having you here, and we hope you enjoyed this discussion.
Yep. Thank you
Cool.
guys.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.